The Strangler's Honeymoon by Håkan Nesser. Translated by Laurie Thompson and read by David Timson. Killing a human being takes a minute at most. Living a normal life can take 75 years. Henry Moll, author. Chapter 1. In the next life, I want to be an olive tree. She gestured vaguely towards the hills, where dusk was falling fast. It can live for several hundred years, according to what I've read. That sounds pretty reassuring, don't you think? Afterwards, he would occasionally recall that these were her last words. That comment about olive trees and reassurance. It was remarkable. As if she was taking something big and sublime with her to the other side. An inspiration, a trace of some kind of insight that she didn't really possess. At the same time, of course, it seemed to him a little odd that she should make such a general and actually rather meaningless comment, immediately after those terrible words that had sealed her fate so definitively, which ended her life and gave their relationship its final destiny. I love somebody else. Needless to say, it never occurred to her that things would develop the way they did, that what happened next was the only way out, not until the very last seconds, presumably. But in a way it was typical, both of her naivety and of their relationship in general. It had frequently happened that she didn't grasp the full significance of things until it was too late, at a stage when it was pointless trying to put things right, and when all that could be said, absolutely everything, had already been said. When the only possibility available was decisive action. He had thought about that before. I've made up my mind. I know I'm hurting you, but we must go our separate ways from now on. I love somebody else. Then silence. Then that comment about the olive tree. He didn't answer. Had she expected him to answer? It wasn't actually a question she had asked, merely a statement, a fait accompli. What the hell could he have answered? The balcony was not large, 6 to 8 square meters. A little white table with 2 chairs that looked exactly like all other plastic chairs and all other plastic tables in every part of the world. The same applied to the hotel. Only 2 floors, no dining room, hardly even a reception. They had booked the holiday at the last minute and hadn't bothered to pick and choose. Olympus. Just a few minutes' walk up from the beach. The landlady had a moustache, and it had about a dozen rooms, probably fewer. Their colourful patterned beach towels were folded over the balcony rail to dry. They each had a glass of ouzo, and were sitting within half a metre of each other. She had just had a shower, was sun-tanned and radiant after a whole afternoon on the beach. A whiff of thyme from the hills formed an unholy alliance with the stench of low-octane petrol wafting up from the main road. And that was more or less it. That, and those words. A note suddenly began to resound in his head. Faint and difficult to pin down, but somehow persistent. It can be heard like the trickling of a little rivulet babbling through the sound of the cicadas churring drowsily after a hot day. They sound like several hundreds, but there are probably no more than 2 or 3 of them. He stands up, knocks back the rest of the ouzo in one swig, takes a few deep breaths. Stands behind her. Moves her hair to one side.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?